We are going to tackle a question that a lot of us ask ourselves. What I am feeling is just normal worry or something more? We are going to use a professional tool to get a picture of what is going on inside your own head. Have you ever taken an online anxiety test, hoping for some insight, only to be left confused? The internet is overflowing with quizzes that promise to give you some answers, but how to know if those are useful? Or do they have any scientific basis? They might give you a false sense of security, making you put off getting real help, or they could scare you into thinking a normal reaction to stress is a full-blown disorder. There is a simple 7 questions tool that doctors and psychologists actually use to begin the process of understanding anxiety. A tool that isn't just a random quiz, but an evidence-based instrument built on solid research. In this video, we're going to explain how you can validate a quiz, whether it is valid for measuring anxiety or not. Then, we're going to explain the screening tool that psychologists actually use to help you distinguish if you just have normal worry or something more.
If you are not interested in details about tool validation, please feel free to skip straight to the quiz. Jump ahead using the timestamp in the description. How do professionals get a real signal about someone's mental health? They use validated screening tools. It means the tool has gone through intense testing to prove it's both reliable and accurate. This validation process takes a long time and looks at a few key things. First is reliability. This means the test is consistent. If you took it twice in a row and your condition didn't change, you should get pretty much the same score. The tool we're about to cover, the GAD-7, has test-retest reliability, which is one reason it's trusted. Second, and this is an important part, are sensitivity and specificity. The ideas are pretty simple. Sensitivity is the test's ability to correctly spot people who do have the condition. A sensitive test will catch almost every true case. This tool has an 89% sensitivity for generalized anxiety disorder, meaning it correctly flags the potential for GAD in 89 out of 100 people who actually have it. Specificity is the flip side. It's the test's ability to correctly identify people who do not have the condition. This is just as crucial for preventing needless worry. The GAD-7 has about an 82% specificity, meaning it correctly rules out GAD for most people who don't have it. These numbers don't just appear out of thin air. They're the result of years of research where tools are built on official diagnostic criteria and then tested against diagnoses from real-life mental health professionals. That scientific rigor is the night and day difference between a random quiz and a legit clinical tool.
Let's get to the main event, the tool you came to see. It's called the GAD-7, which stands for Generalized Anxiety Disorder 7-Item Scale. A team of doctors and researchers developed it to be a quick, efficient, and reliable way to screen for generalized anxiety disorder and measure how severe anxiety symptoms are. The GAD-7 is a screening tool, not a diagnostic tool. No quiz or questionnaire taken by itself can diagnose you. A diagnosis only comes from a qualified professional who looks at your scores, your life, your history, and actually talks with you. Think of the GAD-7 score like a single vital sign, such as your blood pressure. A high reading doesn't automatically mean you have heart disease, but it's a crystal clear signal that you should probably chat with a doctor. This tool is meant to start a conversation, not end it with a label. The GAD-7 is straightforward. It's just 7 questions. For each one, you rate how often you've been bothered by that problem over the last 2 weeks. That 2-week window is specific and important. It's about your recent state, not your entire life. The scoring is also specific. 0 for not at all, 1 for several days, 2 for more than half the days, 3 for nearly every day. So let's walk through the 7 items. As I read them, think about how you'd answer for yourself based on the last 2 weeks. Feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. Not being able to stop or control worrying. Worrying too much about different things. Trouble relaxing. Being so restless that it's hard to sit still. Becoming easily annoyed or irritable. Feeling afraid as if something awful might happen. Once you have your 7 answers, you just add up the points for a total score from 0 to 21.
Okay, so you've got a total score. Let's break down what those numbers might mean based on the clinical guidelines. A score of 0 to 4 is considered the minimal or no anxiety range. If you're in this zone, you're likely not experiencing significant anxiety symptoms. A score of 5 to 9 suggests mild anxiety. At this level, you might have some symptoms, but they might be manageable. Think of this as a keep an eye on it range. A score of 10 to 14 points to moderate anxiety. A score of 10 is widely seen as the key cutoff. Scoring 10 or above suggests that an anxiety disorder might be present, and it's a very good idea to talk with a doctor or therapist for a full evaluation. Finally, a score of 15 to 21 suggests severe anxiety. This level of symptoms is probably causing a lot of distress and getting in the way of your daily life, making a professional consultation extremely important. While the GAD-7 was first designed for generalized anxiety disorder, studies show a high score can also point to other conditions like panic disorder, social anxiety, and PTSD. It's a solid general measure of anxiety. But wait, your total score isn't even the most important part. After those 7 questions, there's one final, non-scored question that is arguably the most critical of all. How difficult have these problems made it for you to do your work, take care of things at home, or get along with other people? The options are not difficult at all, somewhat difficult, very difficult, and extremely difficult. This question cuts right to the heart of what defines a disorder: impairment. A mental health diagnosis isn't just about having symptoms, it's about whether those symptoms are messing up your ability to function. You could have a moderate score on the GAD-7, but if you answer extremely difficult to this last question, that's a huge signal for a clinician to pay attention.
So, where does that leave us? Most online anxiety quizzes are unscientific clickbait. Don't trust them. A validated screening tool like the GAD-7 is different. It's built on a foundation of science and aligns with clinical criteria. It's a reliable tool used by professionals to get a real signal of anxiety severity. But please remember, a score is not a diagnosis. It's a piece of information, a starting point. Understanding your anxiety isn't about slapping a label on yourself. It's about gaining clarity so you can take the next right step for you. The GAD-7 is designed to give you and a healthcare professional a clear, objective place to start that conversation. If your score landed in the moderate to severe range, or if you answered that your symptoms are making your life very or extremely difficult, no matter what your score was,
please consider this your sign to reach out. Talk to a doctor, a therapist, or a trusted professional. They can help you see the full picture and find the right path forward. Your mental health is way too important to be left to an internet quiz.